Good morning, everyone. My name is Yvette Castillo, taking Bachelor of Elementary Education, second year class B. So, my topic for today is Unit 2 Instructional Planning Cycle. So, here is the learning objectives. 1. What is instructional planning? 2. Types of instructional planning. 3. Writing an objective. 4. Developing and designing a method. 5. Assessment of learning. 6. Teaching strategies. So what do we mean by instructional planning? So instructional planning is the ability of the teacher to visualize and forecast into the future of what, why, and how of the teaching learning process. So next is importance of instructional. So provides for logical sequencing and pacing lessons, economize cost, time, and energy, provides for a variety of instructional objectives, creates the opportunity for higher level of questioning, guides teachers, provides direction for the teachers, correlates in instructional events, develops a sequence of well-organized learning experiences, presents a comprehensive, integrated, and meaningful content at an appropriate level. Next is prepares pupils or students for the day's activities. Next is components of instruction. The teacher's attitudes, beliefs, orientation, and teacher's social background. The pupils, students, age, background, knowledge, motivational, level of interest, the type of content that influence the planning process, textbook, and other instructional materials. Next is the learning content, which is characterized by the subject matter guideline. Next is the materials resources, which include equipment, tools for teaching, time frame, which is considerable. Next is principles of instruction. So to understand the rationale of the course in the context of the goals of the educational institution. To determine what content to incorporate into the course in relation to the set objectives. To clarify thrust of the course. To decide on the reasonable time frame for the course. To identify the important components of the lesson. See if they meet. To determine the appropriate approach in view of the goals. Next is types of instructional. So, number 1 is course plan. So what do we mean by course plan? A long-range teacher guide us, usually called a map of course of study. So mapping identifies and details the content, concepts, skills, and sometimes values to be taught for the entire course. So here is the guidelines for mapping. Number 1, be sure you understand the rationale of the course in the context of goals of the school. 2. Be sure you understand the objectives of the course according to DepEd or district guidelines. 3. Clarify the focus of the course designed to stress subject matter learners' needs or social needs. Number 4 is to determine if there is a special need or special audience or special instructional program for the course. 5. Identify the important components like content, concepts, skills, and values. And number 6 is examine the components to see if they. Number 7. Decide on important components so that they can be used as framework for your unit planning. Number 8. Show the map to an experienced collegiate supervisor. Revise it in light of the feedback. And the last is number 9. As you use the map, evaluate to modify and improve it. Note components that should. For the types of instructional planning is unit plan. So what do we mean by unit plan? Unit plan reflects long-range goals and is means of organizing various aspects of the course of the study and serves as a basis for developing a set of related daily teaching, plan, and educational activities. In the unit plan, they have objectives, content, skills, learning activities, resources and materials, and evaluation procedures. Third is lesson plan. So, lesson plan is a very important tool of a teacher. It is a guide which includes the aims and objectives, subject matter, materials and devices to be used, time frame, anticipated problems and procedures, example given, motivation, teaching strategies and techniques, and evaluation for achieving the desired result. The components of the lesson. Number 1 is objectives, second is motivation, third is outline, next is method, materials and media, assignment or framework. So, there are 3 types of lesson plan. So, number 1 is mastery learning lesson plan. Then, thinking skill lesson plan. And number 3 is flexible grouping lesson, writing and objectives. So, principle for goals and objectives. So, SMART. So, what do we mean by SMART? So, S for specific, M is for measurable, A is for attainable, R is for result-oriented, and T is time-bound and terminal. Types of objectives. There are 2. The performance objectives and process objectives. Next is development and designing a lesson. So different type of lesson. There are 5. So number 1 is development lesson, supervised study lesson. Number 3 is appreciation lesson. Number 4 is drill lesson. Number 5 is application lesson. There are 3 phases of developing a lesson. So there are 3. Number 1 is the initial phase, 2 the lesson proper, 3 the concluding phase. Move to the purpose of assessment. So, to the purpose of assessment, to assist in a student learning, to assist and improvement student learning, to identify children's strengths and weaknesses, and to assist the effectiveness of a particular instructional strategy. On to the teaching strategies. So, purpose of brainstorming. It is to get as many ideas to the surface as possible, no matter how unusual they may seem. So, brainstorming is used when there is an issue that has to be clarified or problem that calls for a solution. So, the basic design of a brainstorming session is presenting an open situation and creating an environment where students feel free to contribute their ideas without fear and failure. Let's go to discussion. So what do we mean by discussion? It is students exchange and share ideas about the lesson or about the assignments. When planned properly, it can provide the students activities that will help develop thinking skills and allow them to engage in higher level thinking. There are 3 ways in conducting discussion. So number 1, whole class discussion. So, whole class discussion, all students in the class exchange and share ideas about given topic with the teacher as a leader. Number 2 is small class discussion. This provides teacher opportunities to note students' behavior, attitudes, and abilities to express ideas. Teachers find discussion situation as a valuable source of information about students' needs, personalities, and backgrounds. Then number 3 is panel discussion. Panel discussion is the strategy for the presentation of a variety of perceptions on a single demonstration. This is the strategy designates the teacher for or a designate individual to model the behavior of presentation, analysis, and synthesis. So demonstration, it calls for a carefully planned presentation that shows how to perform and act as a procedure. Is familiar debate. So this is strategy in which two sides of an issue are presented and argued by two or more individuals within a given time period. So this is formal approach in which oral presentations are made by members of two opposing teams on topics pre-assigned and researched, and their speeches are followed by rebuttals from each other. The class debate is, instead of having two contending parties, it involves 7 members in a group assigned to debate on a topic. So let's move to responsibilities of each member to perform by Armstrong 1980. So what do we mean by pro? Pro is a position is the defenders attempt to marshal evidence in support of the proposition being debated. Con. Positions seek to find evidence and develop a line of logic that opposes that proposition being debated. Next is skeptical critic. Skeptical critic seeks to find information that will be used in attaching both arguments of the pro and the con sides. Trial. This strategy helps students develop concepts of justice, learn key aspects of curriculum procedures, analyze issues, interpret facts, and evaluate decisions. In the conduct of mock trial, students need to know that rules of judge, attorneys, and witnesses, as well as classroom procedures and rules of conduct. 3 phases in conducting mock. So number 1 is briefing. So briefing is pre-planning in which the teacher's task in the identification of the case drawn from the unit of the Next is conducting the trial. Simulation of the conduct of the trial. And then last is debriefing, asking questions like what was the case about? Who were the participants in the mock trial? How were the rules played? What was the issues? And what facts were relevant? Role playing. So this strategy is used when resolving problems or dilemmas and in creating empathy and understanding for another person's view or behavior. The process enables students to identify with others in a variety of situations, develop empathy, concern for others, and other personal behaviors by having students enact an incident or situation. Simulation. Simulation provides students with activities that are designed to provide lifelike problem-solving experience. Next is they provide a presentation of a phenomenon, event, or issues that actually exists or existed in the real world. Next is it can represent historical events in international affairs, family problems, military operations, schools, politics, or any activity. Next is they permit students to perform vicariously expressive roles in decision making. It provides participants with an illusion of involvement in reality. Lecture, it is a well-prepared oral presentation of a lesson by the teacher. So this most widely used exposition strategy when properly organized and planned for this for. This is a teacher-directed strategy designed to help learners understand relationships in organized bodies of knowledge.